We basically have an army of bar partners that you can go to and you can experience and check out some of the best beers, handcrafted drinks, food, all kinds of stuff. It's TomandDanWateringHoles.com.
Yep, and that's the website you can go to. You can also go to TomandDan.com, click on the Watering Holes link. We got Toll Road Brewing. They're right there on Ocoee, Florida.
Delicious.
Downtown Ocoee. Great location.
Great beer.
Awesome brewery inside.
Good folks.
It's really nice.
Good folks.
Also, Hourglass Brewing. We just had them in. Hourglass in Longwood, their gigantic compound. Then they got their tap room in Orlando.
Double locations for those guys. 40 taps across both of them.
Bug Nutty Brewing in Cocoa.
Been with us a long time.
Yeah, and if you haven't been by Bug Nutty, they're in Cocoa, and if you're around that area, stop by. They've got pint glass koozies and other Tom and Dan giveaways. So swing by there, ask for a Tom and Dan giveaway, and have a beer.
Sure.
Cafe Da Vinci, of course, tons of live music.
They're always booking big acts, and don't sleep on the schedule. You got to go to Cafe Da Vinci and check it out, but a lot of times they'll get bands that, like really unique punk bands, really unique reggae bands.
Yeah. They're in DeLand.
Yep, DeLand, my hometown.
Yeah, Johnny's Other Side, an OG sponsor. Everybody knows Johnny's.
Go get a burger.
Yep, best burger in town.
Also, that new patio that Johnny spent some money, which, I didn't think Johnny did much of that. But man, he blew some money on that patio because it is dope.
Weston, Celery City, and Sanford.
Just went there last week. That was awesome.
Yep, Brew Tap House in Tavares.
I got to check that place out, man. I've heard nothing but good things.
Tuffy's Bottle Shop and Lounge and Tuffy's Music Box.
That's another
great
compound
venue
with tons of bars inside of it. Find the Tiki Bar.
They all have watering hole plaques. They all have Tom and Dan giveaways. So when you stop by for a drink,
let them know.
Yeah, tell them Tom and Dan sent you. It really helps. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
And a very special guest commandeering the couch today. Everybody knows him as Tuttle, but is our good friend Patrick Fowler.
Hey, guys.
Of the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
Yes, Tuttle Daily Podcast.
What's been popping in Tuttle Daily Podcast,
I had Bob Fryer on. I've been having news people on, and they've been, the ones that are out and giving me dirt. So.
I love Bob Fryer. Good man. I love the Bob Fryer. So check that out. Where can people find Tuttle Daily Podcast?
YouTube.com/Tuttle and on all podcasting platforms.
There you go.
Well, a big event's coming up in Sanford on Saturday, May 28th. It's the 15th annual Hurricane Party.
Yeah, buddy. Iconic. That is an iconic event in downtown historic Sanford, Florida.
And there are tons of bands and acts. And on the line with us to talk about the Hurricane Party from St. Thomas, in which it was hard for him to call internationally, which we thought, we're recording this on 420. We were like, maybe the wrong time to talk to John Gosling.
It's
like
on island time.
It's like on New Year's Eve trying to, or like Christmas Eve trying to get a hold of Santa. You just can't do it.
On the line, John Gosling. How you doing, John?
Not bad, man. They make it like we're in Zimbabwe or something sometimes, trying to deal with the states when we're actually the United States Virgin Islands.
Right. It should be easy. Yeah.
And we were talking about that even before you got on the line. We had talked about area codes here in the States and how weird that can be. And then don't even get me started with international numbers, and you got to put the plus 44 in ahead of time, then put the 1, then put the thing. But hey, we got you, and we appreciate the time, man.
Back at you, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. Looking forward to the Hurricane Party.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. But John, I got a question for you about living on the island, because it seems to me that everybody I encounter that lives on an island, like when I go there on vacation or visit or whatever, everybody is like, 70% less stressed than the rest of in the world.
That's a good number.
To the point where, the joke of island time, you hear that stereotype. And is that true, John? Or is that us, over here living in cities, just...
Or projecting our own dream of what we want.
Yeah. Is everybody less stressed?
No, it's very real. It's not a myth. It happens even for me if I go stateside for a few days. You get on the highway or whatever, and it kind of hits me. It's a little intense. You get kind of like a culture shock without even leaving the country, quote unquote. And you see like the police presence and just everything. There's so many more people. a lot of things that we don't have here on island. So even for me to come back home after a few days, even just right there in Florida, I get back and I just feel this little switch gets, on the back of your neck. It gets hit and you feel that pressure release and you feel it, all the way down through your shoulders, and you really do snap back into gear of just being on the rock.
And have you been there your entire life? Is this been your home for forever, or how long have you been there?
Well, I was born in the States in New Jersey, and thanks to my grandfather back in the 70s, just seeing the beauty of the Virgin Islands, he bought a place down here on St. Thomas back in 1972, and
wow.
And so my parents grew up coming on vacation since they were teenagers, and then so when my sisters and I were born, it was our second home.
Whoa.
And right before I was going to high school, my parents made it full time, so I've been here full time since 1999.
That is freaking amazing, man. So it's kind of cool that you got the aspect of being able to compare a little bit of like stateside living to, and compare and contrast, because I don't know if I would appreciate it as much just growing up there the entire time. I mean, so you're able to kind of look at it from both eyes, and certainly I'm sure you enjoy
see the benefits.
Yeah. I mean, give us some of the benefits of living there and being a little more laid back.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it, though, because I having that both perspective. I got to play Little League in the States growing up. I got to go to my first punk shows and play sports and whatnot, music, be in that scene, in the rock scene. And then also, right in a obviously transitional time as a teenager, making full time here in the islands, it was an important time, and getting to join the and to get to your question of my favorite things of living here is the music and the rhythms and the culture, which musically joined quite nicely in an interesting way. Taking like calypso music.
Yeah, let's talk about
mixing
that.
with like rock music.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. You work with the Villains. You work with, Mad Caddies, massive fan. We play them on the show all the time. You're no stranger to punk rock and reggae and stuff like that, calypso music. How did you start basically your musical journey, and how did you start, how did you hook up with Dom and Scart and these guys that certainly we know? Yeah.
Man, I vividly remember walking into the little offshore bar here on St. Thomas back in, I said 01, Scart said 02, but regardless, it was 20 years ago. And I walked in, see the boys, and they were singing "We All Been 17," and I was singing right along, and I wasn't even 17 yet.
That's crazy.
But so yeah, I went to college in Puerto Rico, and I had always kind of popped up stateside and to kind of sneak up on the boys wherever they were playing, and North Carolina at a time, a couple times around Florida, and then I was after college I was working a direct marketing job, going door to door around Tampa, where my parents had moved.
Yeah,
and we were on a road trip to Gainesville. Walked in and on the Villains again, snuck up on them again, and got a call from Dom first thing next morning saying, "Hey, we're about to go on the road with the Mad Caddies and Pepper. Would you like to come sell our merch?" And I had never been west of Clearwater in my life. And the first show of that tour was Valentine's Day of 2007. So I said, "Sign me up." And we, jumped on I-10 with the boys. I dropped my 6-day-a-week door-to-door direct marketing job to go on the road with these guys and sling some T-shirts. And both Pepper and the Caddies saw me coming up, and they still to this day still call me Young Buck, and they just saw me coming up and eager, and they both offered me positions by the end of that tour. Next thing I knew, by a year later, I had been to 35 countries with the Mad Caddies, thanks to music.
That's awesome, man. And what a dream come true, But I do think, and Tom, you'd probably agree with this, it takes kind of a special person to take advantage of those type of opportunities.
Yeah. Well, you got to be a hustler, and you
got to be tough.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being tough, John, I got to ask you about a phenomenon known as beach kids. So
beach kids are hard.
They're and it used to be more prevalent than it is today because so many beachfront properties are just being bought up by old millionaires that just let them sit there. So less and less people grow up on the beach that are don't have as much.
It's like it's exclusive to no one.
But there are beach kids that roam the beaches that are seemingly unwatched by anybody, and they're independent.
The lightest of hair, but the toughest of feet.
Yeah, and they're just like wild animals roaming the beaches. Like there'll be like a 6-year-old just fishing barefoot with no shirt, no water.
They're feral.
Yeah, they're feral beach kids. John, did you grow up like that? And am I accurate with the phenomenon of beach kids?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And proud to be one of those beach kids. And I got a beach kid named Brixton. He's inside. He turned a year and a half yesterday.
Congrats.
My son Brixton, and thank you so much. And he's
Did you rescue him, or is it yours?
That's true.
They told me that he belonged to me.
Okay.
They told me. And he's also got a little brother and sister in there. We're not sure which one it is yet.
Get into business, Mr. John Gazzi.
Right.
Listen, John, I know if
we have sex in the Virgin Islands. No virgins.
Your son is probably already getting ready to roam the beach, start fishing, surfing.
He's going to start his own family soon.
I mean, he's walking as soon as he's close to surfing.
Swimming,
right?
yeah.
He's a commercial fisherman. He's got his own vessel.
Island people don't use condoms.
Hey, you know the Canary Islands, not a single canary. The Virgin Islands, same deal.
Yeah. I love a good island dad joke.
Well, speaking of that, John, when are you going to teach your son to start? I mean, what's the age? Because I'm sure, you're a surfer yourself.
Yeah.
So, when do you get him on a board?
He touched his feet to a skateboard. It was the day he was a month old. And literally has four skateboards in his little play area in the house, and he just goes to it. He just has fun with it, and we get him into the ocean as often as possible.
Yeah,
we haven't really been catching waves yet, but
in his blood.
Little beach rat.
My sons don't even know how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I have to put elbow pads, knee pads, a helmet. I'm like, you don't have
They
jeans
barely
on?
know how to walk.
We're just surrounded by it. Honestly, we're surrounded by it. From my porch here, looking right off directly to the north, I can see 15 places where when the day is right, you could catch a wave.
Here's the question.
Literally,
That's awesome.
Here's the thing that Tom and I always try to think about, and we always get the wrong answer. Do you ever get bored of it? Like, you're there. I was watching a video of you on YouTube. You were sitting on the banister of this beautiful balcony, and then behind you is some sort of it looks like a paradise of a bay, and then the sun is shining down like it's rays from Jesus's eyes, cascading over the mountains. And I'm like, oh my God! But do you ever get do you ever look around and you're like, God, I don't know, man.
I wish I had a city.
I definitely got ants in my pants. I can't sit around too long. Rock fever, as they call it, just like island time. Island fever is not a myth either. It's you get stir crazy on an island of only 13 by 3 miles.
Right.
It's definitely you got to be always moving and shaking. But I'm fortunate enough to have a boat. I've had my boat going on 10 years now, and I'll load my PA system in and all my gear and all my friends and all their gear, including the supervillains who multiple times have toured on my boat. And I've played on 10 different islands, so I'm able to get off the island and look back at it and admire it. And apart from it could be like middle school living on the island. Everyone kind of knows each other's business, so that part kind of can creep up a little bit on you, but honestly, no, I wake up every single morning and I'm just amazed by the beauty of the Virgin Islands, and I'm very grateful to be here and be able to spend my days here.
Do you do any of your own boat repair? Tom's a boatman, but his wife has a conspiracy theory that they think they're really getting the old shimmy dog ham.
Of course, John. He grew up a beach kid. He knows how to repair his motor, do fiberglass work. He can do a little bit of everything.
Run what's happening with your boat by John. Maybe he can diagnose it on the phone.
John.
Well, in a small island, it can be hard to come by the right mechanic. So where was Tom when I had my Mercury on my boat? I should have put you on Spirit Airlines, man. Get down here,
John.
I could have used you.
I know nothing.
Hey, what are the gun laws like in to be able to protect yourself, or do you guys just carry machetes around everywhere?
What kind of question is that, Tom?
Yeah, machetes, rusty
Why'd you ask
machetes.
me?
Rusty machetes. Turn your mic off. Good Lord.
So, John, I got a question for you real quick before we go. It used to be like Alaska was a place from the United States that people would go.
Yeah, you can see Russia from your house. I remember that.
Well, to be forgotten or kind of like escape or it was good. The urban legends, like people would move to Alaska so that no one would ever bother them anymore or no one would know.
So you could get away with the murder.
Yeah, you just hide apparently just from the world. And I feel like a lot of the islands are the same way. But you said it's everybody knows each other's business. But are there some people that is like, oh yeah, the old man Frank over there, don't talk to him. Like no one knows about him. Like he moved here. In
I don't think
80s.
there's anyone in the Virgin Islands named Frank.
I'm just saying, are there any characters that everybody is like, oh yeah, this guy, he maybe was in the mob at one point. Like, there's the urban
shady
legend.
characters that live in darkness.
In the islands.
No doubt about it. We call them lagoonies. We got some folks down in the harbor and around the mangroves and living on sailboats that they don't have an address.
Right.
They don't get mail. They're just good and
watch out for those lagoonies.
Whatever may be their business, but yeah, especially on the island this small, it's not like you can really go disappear. You can disappear if you're from somewhere else to come here, but you can't if you do somebody wrong around here. I've always said it's like instant karma here because you don't have very far you can run and hide. So I mean, yeah, and it shows. It's not all just palm trees and pina coladas around here. We've actually had the title of the highest homicide ratio per capita in all of U.S. territories for a bunch of years running, and it's nothing that anybody's proud of, but it's something that we're always working on. My main project the last few years has been focused on getting the very first skate park built here in the Virgin Islands, and to offer some of the kids coming up that get into trouble, giving them a nice platform. So that's kind of the situation, but it is what it is, and that goes for every island around and every city around as well. But it really resonates here on a small island community.
I'm sure.
Well, you brought up something that's interesting. Like island politics are really different too. Like it's really ingrained into.
It's almost like closed circuit local politics.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get much bigger because it's a small area, but the influence is just as great.
Yeah. So the politicians and then there's different corruption going
Possibly
on. I don't know.
Easier to have some corruption because it's smaller.
So I'm sure you have to deal with a lot of that too, right, John?
Guaranteed. And I lived many years in Puerto Rico as well, and you see how everybody bands together. It's wild, and they just put their foot down. Like Puerto Rico, I'm sure you guys remember, they got millions together and booted the governor straight out. So it's an intense culture here. Every island, even though we're very close to one another, they're all very different. We have the Spanish culture right to our west 40 miles, and then right to our east we got, and living right here on St. Thomas, we have a big French culture too. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's quite the melting pot, and just very vibrant people, and just powerful, and kind of a no nonsense kind of a culture.
Yeah, and if you, I like that, and it's really cool that you actually got to grow up both in the States and grow up there. And man, we can't thank you enough for the time. Thank you for calling in, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the hurricane party, my friend.
Totally. We're going on so much about the islands, which I could do all day, but really we're here talking about Less Than Jake and the Agrolites and Pacifier, the supervillains, some of my the greatest inspirers, my best friend, my dear friend Jason DeVore from Authority Zero is going to be there too. And then the very next day, after the Sanford hurricane party, is the boys are going to be jumping on a plane and heading down to St. Thomas to play on an event that I created called Rock the Boat. It's on a 60-foot catamaran.
Oh, cool.
We play off the bow, and like a few hundred boats pull up to this event, and they all bow up, and they get on their floaties and they swim out. I gotta shoot you guys some photos.
Yes,
that sounds awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
let's take your boat.
Well, hold on, I get my boat.
Get your boat fixed, man.
It'll
Come
be
on.
fixed by then. I can drive my boat from Central Florida. We'll go out of Cocoa Beach.
We'll go out of Cocoa.
I'm pretty sure you just head east, a little southeast,
And
something
go-
like that.
God, he
Look
doesn't
at
know
the
where he's
globe.
going.
Go.
Look at the globe.
We'll just go as fast as we can, and when we see
Do we have a
land,
globe?
when we see the catamaran, we'll know we're there.
Yeah, don't forget south. You got east, but don't forget south
Yeah,
too.
southeast.
Southeast, write that down.
Just,
Write that down.
Right.
just send me a drop pen.
Check that out, those guys.
Yeah.
I will. I promise. I will. But
Yes.
check that
Send
out when
me
you guys
a
got a
drop
chance. Go. It's rockdeboat.com. DEH. Rockdeboat.com. It's so fun. We do it seasonally. The next one we got Supervillains coming down, and right here on beautiful St. Thomas.
I love
but
it.
first things first. I'll see you guys in Sanford on the 28th.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
For the 15th annual hurricane party.
John, it's been
Awesome,
a pleasure,
John.
man. Dom, he's in the background. Dom, thank you for facilitating everything.
There he
That's
is.
right, the whole time. Oh man, I was good.
and we
And a
wish.
loco moco to you.
And a loco moco to you, sir. Thank you, guys. We'll
I
talk
was
to you
trying to
soon.
steer John away from some questions, but it's good. You guys did great. Everybody did a terrific job. I give everybody an A+.
I think he hit the geopolitics questions out of the park. I thought it was great. All right, guys.
I was about to stop him there because he has to live there. But yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, you guys did great. Everybody did.
Yeah, he's not running for office. We're good.
Yeah,
All
no
right,
one from
I-
St. Thomas is listening to
I
us.
hung up on him. We're out of here.
Oh, wow.
How to get out? Look, you got to do what you got to do.
How awesome of a trip would that be? You fly over to St. Thomas just for that Rock the Boat concert, and you're I'm
I
sure,
know people that
It
do
looks
this.
awesome. There's a bunch of people just out on floats, just watching the concert.
Yeah, in
Thank you to-
paradise,
yeah.
like you're watching some awesome bands playing a boat and just floating around in crystal blue, St. Thomas water. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Sam put the link in the chat room if you're looking for it, rockdeboat.com.
Like, how fun would that be? You're just floating
I
in
wasn't kidding when I said
crystal
we should
clear.
go. I wasn't kidding when I said we should go. We never do anything fun. We never take a show trip because
We get an Airbnb out there?
You said we can't do any live broadcasts out places or do them on the road.
Well,
Because
now we know John Ghazi, Dom's got connections to
Yeah,
Scarf.
John's our friend now.
Well,
Yeah.
all we need is a decent recorder.
He knows probably like a good Airbnb on the I want.
Tuttle, you can talk again. You're
Oh,
fine.
no, I'm
Okay.
sorry about the gun question.
No, it's totally
They
fine.
said there was a lot of
You
violence.
took us down a very violent road that John Ghazi did not want to go down. Then Dom was your Dom. If you got
sweating.
Dom sweating bullets, then there's something wrong.
Yeah,
Because that
that's
guy
true.
usually doesn't give a damn about anything. And Tuttle says, "Well, he's like, what's the violence like there? How many murders?"
Well, he did say there was the more murders on that island than any other.
Well, they want people to come to their event.
Well, Deland used to be
Well,
that too. I don't know if you
yeah,
remember
yes.
this, but Deland used to have the highest murder per capita rate of any city in the nation.
Yeah, but why does it scare away tourists? Like, they're not murdering
Toll.
Oh, man.
They're murdering other
That was for you, buddy. That was for you.
murderers. The tourists are fine. They're like, people are always scared. It's like Mexico. All the drug lords are murdering each other.
No, that's not true.
They're not murdering tourists.
Well, they're not murdering them, but my wife is on a cruise forum, and last night she's like, "Oh, look at this!" And it was an excursion that people were booking on this cruise, and there people were like, "Don't go to it! Don't go to it!" The excursion resort area, the beach has been taken over by gorillas, but not like the monkey kind, like the kind with ARs and Kevlar vests, and they're
Oh, like
holding
guerrilla
people
warfare?
hostage and not letting us drink our Caribs.
well, I mean, that seems like an extreme.
And then they showed a picture of like two guys in Kevlar vests giving a thumbs up, like, "Don't come here, we'll kill you." Seriously, I'll have Andrea send me the photo.
That sounds like some sort of email forward that grandmas scare each other with.
It had a little racist. It had a little bit of racism attached to it. It did. It did.
Because it's like, don't,
Scary grandma
if someone has
racism.
their headlights off, don't flash your headlights.
My
That's a
dad
gang
used to say that.
initiation.
No, it's not.
They're going to kill you.
My dad said, "If you flash your headlights, a Mexican thinks you're trying to buy cocaine."
It's always It's just
Don't be
emails and
flashing
stuff.
your high beams when you drive through Spring Hill, or they'll think you're buying the drugs.
He wasn't when he brought up the mangroves. The mangroves have a different significance over in Tampa. That's where everybody goes cruising.
What's cruising?
For gay sex over in the mangroves.
I want to go
That's
cruising for gay sex.
Yeah, you just yeah. The mangroves right there in the bay. People just because they got these little cutouts that people just back their trucks up and they have sex right in the bed of their truck because they're shaded and blocked from view by the mangroves. And you put a white T-shirt out the passenger side of the window, and that's the signal that you're down.
The white T-shirt. Oh, hold on.
Oh my God, my car's nothing but white. I'm running, pulling them all down.
Does that mean I give up?
I used to.
All right. Let's switch gears. We're going to do a BDM show, a bonus BDM show for BDM week.
No, it's BDM Appreciation Week. It's not BDM Week is a whole different animal. You can't. I told you not to confuse those two.
Is it like Shark Week?
No,
we got too many weeks.
Yeah, we do. I do too much.
I'm too weak. I'm too weak for these weeks.
All right. We'll be right back.
It is another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan show. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
We have a big computer problem, buddy. This guy down here.
Yeah.
12-year-old Johnny down here that we've had.
Yeah.
Jack Crazy is the real computer's name is Jack Crazy. It is dying.
Yeah, you told me.
Is dying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna need this like many people do when their pets get sick, but they do have the money to save the pet. But they're conflicted a little bit. I'm just going to start a GoFundMe and then feel guilty about it when I use that money to buy. That's what people do with their pets now, right? Everybody, rich, poor, middle class, when your pet gets sick, you do a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And then people
are like, I don't want to pay for this.
I don't want to pay. It's a pet.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy. You do say, you're like, this is crazy. You're like, what
I want
should I do?
other people to pay for
You're
this.
like, what should I do? Well, what can I do? And you're like, I wish I had some free money. Where do you get people get free money? GoFundMe. So you make a GoFundMe, but then you're a little conflicted, right? You're like, and then you're like, don't talk about it. And then you realize that if people just give, if you don't talk about it, you'll get the money and it will eventually go away and people will forget that you're a bad person.
Yeah, but then when you post you're at Blizzard Beach, they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're at Blizzard Beach.
The key is to not go to Blizzard Beach. I know what you're talking about.
Well, no, you can go, but just don't post about it because then people are going to be like, I donated $10 to save Muffy,
Exactly.
and you're at Blizzard Beach.
Yeah, you use the money for Blizzard Beach.
You're drinking a Mai Tai.
You got a sand pail of ice cream, sir. I see it in the photos. Anyway, no, I'm not going to start a GoFundMe, but we got to figure something out. I think we can limp along. We could probably limp along for another 6 months.
Oh, we got a super expensive computer last year.
Yeah, but this one is to run all of the cameras that we have in here. Eventually, we run out of... You didn't know we were on camera. Yeah, we're live on Twitch. Good segue. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can watch all of our shows. You can watch our fish tank. We have a fish. This is a true effing story. We're going to get to Weird Job Wednesday here in a second. But we have a fish that we have trained. When I turn on the cameras, Molly the fish will swim up to the camera and will sit there. I'll put the cameras on Molly. I don't know if she's there. Yeah, she's there. She's there. That fish is trained. Tell me another podcast or radio show that has a goddamn trained fish mascot. Show me one. Show me one.
It trained
She loves
itself.
the camera.
She loves it. She's sitting there swimming around.
She's a
Oh, there's
superstar.
Derek in the background. That's Derek.
As soon as the blue light comes up,
Yeah.
why does it get attracted?
Big Dory goes and mushes her around. Big Dory gets mad at Molly Fish and starts pecking at her and pushing her out of the way. She's so stupid, she's trained. The little blue light on our camera comes on, and she's like, hey, it's my friend.
I can't believe we've had that fish tank for almost 2 years
I know.
now.
We lost a lot along the way. But,
I think we lost less than 20.
that's a lot to me. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
They're
I
just
thought
fish.
we'd have go through hundreds. Hundreds.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I think it's less than 20.
We've got to
R.I.P.
guess.
The first 3 months were really rough. The first 3 months, I mean, was fish.
Left and right.
Fish.
Yeah. Well, got to get.
But I think Butler was overfeeding him
Well, yeah.
because he likes the snacks.
he was
I mean-
putting hot dogs in there.
Yeah, oddly enough, they did start to thrive when he left. So I'm not going to point anything out. Shall we get to it?
Yeah.
All right. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. Talk to Brian Zymel and their team if you want to refi or you will need a mortgage. You're probably sitting on a boatload of cash in your house. Could you use that cash to better your life in some way or make more money?
Yeah.
Start a business? I don't know. I mean,
you could put it straight up your nose.
You're rich. Streamline. All right. We've got a weird job.
Yeah, this is Larry. What's up, Larry?
Paul.
This is Paul. What's up, Paul?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. So, Paul, what is your weird job?
Well, I'm calling about a job I used to have, and it was the executive director of the Florida Boxing Commission. And I was in charge of all the professional MMA and boxing events in the state of Florida.
So some could say you were a pretty heavy hitter. We'll be right back.
So, Paul, how did you become that?
Well, back in 2008, I was a real estate attorney for a developer in Jacksonville, and the market crashed, so that job went away. So I had a little baby at home and a wife to take care of, so I took a prosecutor job over in Tallahassee for a state agency called DBPR, and that's the agency that regulates all the professions in the state of Florida. Like, for instance, real estate salespeople or real estate appraisers, construction workers. There's about 20 different professions, and one of those is the Boxing Commission. So I started as a prosecutor, and the only way to make more money in state government, they don't give raises, so you have to change jobs. So I started as a prosecutor, then I moved up to a chief attorney in charge of a unit, then deputy general counsel in charge of a division, and then I was offered the job of executive director of the Boxing Commission. So that's how I kind of fell into it.
Weird. Did you have any boxing background, or do you know anything about boxing?
Well, that's unfortunately no. And
I love it.
Good choice.
Well, here's the thing: you don't need to know about the sport to regulate the sport, just like you don't have to know about real estate sales to
That's
to
what I
regulate
keep telling women about their bodies. I keep telling them, I'm like, look, I know where the holes are, I know the things, I know what you need. I know what you need. I'm a regulator.
Hold on, Paul. Like, you don't have
Right,
to...
Sam, you're on board. Uh-oh.
Now, I know,
Happy birthday.
I kind of I understand what you mean, but I feel like people are listening to this and thinking that's crazy. You should at least know something about what you're regulating.
He was a smart guy, right? Prosecutor,
you knew the
attorney.
law.
Yeah, you knew the law. You're smart. Obviously, you went to college, so you had to get a law degree. I mean, you're not an idiot.
Well, they typically hire attorneys for those jobs because they involve, regulation, making laws.
Sure.
Enforcing laws, and there's also an actual board that you have to run, a board of board members that are appointed by the governor. So you really kind of need to be an attorney to do those jobs.
That makes sense.
So, Paul, I'm curious, like, when you got the job, did you start at least watching boxing?
You got to dress like a you got to wear like...
Yes, I mean, I kind of got thrown in, to the deep end, and and actually that was kind of for the first year. I kind of had to work hard to gain respect of the people in the industry, because when I first walked in, they were like, "Who the hell is this guy? He doesn't know anything about boxing.
He's
Why
never
is he
taken
telling
a
me what
punch
to
in
do?"
his life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I have staff members and assistants that did know about.
That's what we do.
So there are, so I surround myself with people that are, really, really have a lot of knowledge of the sports.
So, Paul, I'm curious, like, when you are the commissioner or you're in charge of, regulating boxing,
right,
what does that even entail? Like,
yeah, what's your day-to-day?
Yeah, like, is people submitting, like...
Look at these fists. Not good.
What is it?
New fists.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the first step is a promoter, like, for instance, the UFC, that's a promoter. They want to have an event in the state of Florida, so they apply for an event application, and we have to make sure they're licensed, make sure they have a bond, make sure they have medical insurance. A promoter has a matchmaker, and a matchmaker, gives us fights. Typically there's about 10 fights on every fight card, so that means there's 20 fighters. And as a commission, we have to approve the match. We have to approve the fights to make sure that there's equal skill level. So, in other words, you can't have a fighter that's 0-10, fighter that's 10-0.
Yeah, but those are the fun fights, watching that guy get his face blasted off, right?
Well, that's our job, to keep people from getting their face blasted off.
Okay.
We try to make it as safe as possible.
So, Paul, I'm curious because you have to deal with boxing promoters, right? And
yes.
On the scale of shadiest job to least shady job, boxing promoter is right underneath crypto gypsy. I mean, there may be nothing more shady.
Solar hustler. Solar hustler.
Solar hustler's close.
Irish bar owner is actually on the list. Way lower. Irish bar owner.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It doesn't mean they're bad people.
Paul, I feel like you're dealing with the shadiest of all shady people.
Yeah, we are, and I would say 40 to 50% of them are crooks. I mean, there's some. 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the single funniest things ever said on Weird Al Wednesday. And he said it in a true Paul fashion.
I'm not even joking. That's higher than I thought.
You're like 15.
By crooks, I mean they don't pay their fighters. They end up, skipping town.
And they're okay with that. Yeah. I love your demeanor, by the way. And by the way, I will give you a compliment in saying that I think you have the demeanor of somebody. The only person that can do this successfully, do it and then get back out with their sanity. Sounds like somebody like you, like calm, smart. Yeah. You're just kind of like, okay, it is what it is.
And you mean, like you said, you mean crook, like literally criminal. Like they were stealing from people.
Yes. I mean, they these fighters, they train for months and they cut weight and, they literally give their life, heart and soul in the ring or in the cage. And at the end of the event, the promoter skips town and they got nothing. I mean, they accept stitches, and injuries.
So it really is terrible, too, because, a lot of these guys, if you really think about it from a pure standpoint, I mean, the person could go in there well, they could die. You're doing something that
risking your life.
I know it's not dangerous for properly trained people, but it still is, right?
Yeah. No, it's very dangerous. Yeah, it's and the commission's job is safety. So we assign officials to keep the fight safe. So we assign the judges and the referees and the ringside positions. All these people, their job is to keep it safe.
So, Paul, you hear these stories because, in every boxing match, you see, the ref and then some sort of official, they're checking the person's gloves and wraps and stuff. And you think to yourself, well, they're not going to hide anything in there. Maybe you're being overly cautious. But then you hear the stories of the boxers that, soak their wraps in plaster of Paris or whatever, so during the fight it gets hard and stuff like that does happen or has happened in the history of boxing, super dangerous stuff where fighters are trying to make cement fists to kill the other guy. So that stuff does happen, right?
Yeah, it does happen, but not that often because we have inspectors. So every fighter is assigned an inspector, and once they wrap their hands, the inspector's job is to stay with that fighter, and the fighter can't leave their sight. So just like you said, some tricks are they could wet their bandages, they could, they could pull the stuffing out of the gloves. There's all kinds of ways to cheat. So the inspector's job is to keep that from happening.
I think I could fool your inspector.
I mean, he's not paying attention that much.
Yeah, I feel like I could be like a real simple, be like, hey, you seen the Paris Hilton video? And then you hand him your phone. Next thing you know, you're pulling the stuffing out.
Or is there any chance the inspectors could be offered bribes or whatever? Like how ironclad is their morals? Who are these?
Who are these inspectors?
Well, they're just local people that, we have to hire. In every city, we have a list of inspectors. We bring them in. And, I've never seen that to be an issue.
I'm an inspector.
Are they just drifters?
I'm a female body inspector, FBI. Daytona Beach FBI, female body inspector.
So, Paul, what's the most egregious thing you've seen while doing this job?
Gun in the glove.
Between the promoters or anything else?
Well, there's all sorts of stuff, but I'll give you an example. There's, we had, the boxing community is a real tight-knit community, and, if an out-of-town promoter comes into, let's say, Tampa or Miami, they have to deal with the local folks in Tampa or Miami, and they may be approached by a guy that says, hey, you want to have an event in Miami? Well, you got to go through me. I'm the guy that will get you the ring. I'm the guy that will get you, your tickets printed. I'm the guy that will get you the ring girls. Typically ring girls come from, local strip clubs or, wing houses.
Ooh la la.
So the promoters are approached by these guys, and either the promoter makes a smart decision and agrees to work with this guy, or they say, I don't know who you are, get out of my face. So what? Excuse me. God, I got allergies, guys.
No, yeah, the same. Tom. We tell Tom he's got allergies, but he says no. It's his caffeine cough.
So, one example is a guy that a promoter that refused to work with a an individual that was offering all these services, and the night of the event, we had the announcer in the ring. He was bringing out from Hialeah, Florida, weighing in at 155, it's Tom Van, and he would bring out the red corner fighter, and then he'd bring out the blue corner fighter.
The name wouldn't have been Tom Van.
What would you fight under? What would your fighting name be?
From Hialeah, Florida?
The American Indian, Thomas Chisholm.
So what happened?
Don't do it, Tom. Why are you doing that?
So, there was 1,000 people in the audience. And right before the bell rang, the ring collapsed.
Oh my God!
People were standing on it and fell.
Wait a minute!
Through?
Did they do the old move where they're like, "Hey, it would really suck if your ring would fall down"?
Yeah, exactly. The ring actually fell, and I lifted up the curtain, and it's those things weigh like as much as a car, and. They're supposed to be held up with, still legs and supports. And whoever set the ring up, set it up with PVC pipes for supports, just like, like a plumber's pipe that you see in your house.
Yeah, it's a non-permanent installation.
It was obviously sabotaged. I mean, so... the problem there is, we had to go in the back and tell 20 fighters.
Someone sabotaged us! The game! It is afoot! We must find these rapscallions and arrest them!
Well, the hard thing, we had to tell the fighters that unfortunately they can't fight.
Well, you mean no fight? Me fight on PVC. It's fine. Me just want to punch.
The promoter, his investors... these two guys came up to me, and, these guys had, like tattoos on their faces. These aren't the best of people,
Yeah, Jelly Roll's got one.
And,
fat.
So you're saying Miami fight promoters and not the most up and up?
But, they're basically said, you're not going to cancel this event, are you? And I said, well... I have no choice. I mean, what am I supposed to do? And he said, well, we could go to Lowe's and we could buy wood.
He has a point. I like that guy. He's a visionary. He's like, look, all's not lost. Look, call me Positive Pete, but I can go to Lowe's.
Oh, and so the whole arena's full, the thing collapsed.
They started chanting Lowe's. They're like, Lowe's.
I had to tell him no. I mean, because Lowe's
Home
was an
Depot?
hour away. It was 10 o'clock at night, by the way. I mean, it was already.
I got an hour. They close at 11. I got an hour.
You know, and it would take them an hour there, an hour once they're there, an hour to get back, and then a couple hours to put the ring back together. And by that time, it would be 3 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, you can't make the officials or the fighters sit in the dressing room for 6 hours. So
They can go back to my apartment.
it was a bad night. We had to send everybody in the audience home. They were really pissed and kind of almost like a riot type of scene. But, you know, unfortunately, they didn't get refunds because, you know, the fighters sell tickets like in a gym or something. So that money's long gone. And whatever money was collected at the gate was gone. I mean, there was no money for the people, so they were upset.
See how calm he is? Is anybody else picking up on just he's
Paul.
like, oh, it's no big deal.
Everybody was mad.
He's the
This
perfect
seems-
guy. He's the perfect guy for the. Have you ever seen me and you during any of our events, like running around
Oh,
screaming?
my God.
Even your BDM
Paul.
appreciation, we're like, ow!
Remember the wrestling event we did?
I gotta be
never
honest.
again.
You don't
I
have
love Paul.
You seem like your demeanor is not fit for this chaotic,
Oh no, I think it's perfect.
insane job
He's
where you have
Teflon Paul. He just stays chill.
where you have to deal with Miami fight promoters and all what sounds like a mafia down there, where if you don't pay them off,
but
and,
if he
and
was like
boxing
them-
promoters and fighters, and like it sounds like a mess to deal with.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful. And that particular room, by chance, was also where I took the bar exam. So that was a horrible memory of. And in that same room a few years back, there was a fight, and the chandelier fell off the ceiling and hit the referee and knocked him out.
Hold on a second. This is a great job for Paul. He seems to really enjoy it. He's really good at it. He's calm. If Tom,
You took the bar exam in a room,
The same
that
room.
they had a fight in down in Miami.
yes, and in the same room, he's three different pivotal things happen to him.
You know, most of these fights are in like ballrooms, like hotel ballrooms.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are in big arenas. You know, sometimes they're in National Guard armories.
Nice.
You know, sometimes they put them outside in a parking lot, which is always a disaster.
It's like one step above punk rock show. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these shows. But to your point, Tom, I think that Paul's perfect. Because if he were just like the seedy, like angry, face-tattooed guys, if he were just like them, it would just be a fight. The fact that he's so calm, I feel like is the perfect operative for this job because they'll have no recourse with him. He's strictly business and calm Paul.
But you're right. But I would just think that Paul doesn't want to deal with this, the stress and
But
the
I think-
headache of this chaos.
Maybe this is exciting to him.
Paul, did you enjoy it?
It's the type of thing, while you're doing it, it's so stressful and it's not enjoyable in the moment. But looking back, you know, I'll never have a job that's that exciting. Now I'm a corporate attorney and I deal with insurance issues. I mean, there will never be anything as exciting as that job.
You should write a book about it and write all these stories and that
Yeah.
thing about this. Telling me about the chandelier knocking out the referee. So the same room that you took the bar, the same room that these tattooed guys, you had to shut down their event, is also the same room that you watched a chandelier smash a referee?
Yeah, well, that was a couple years before my time, but it happened to one of the old executive directors. But I think that it was the Tampa Bay Convention Center, which is right downtown. I think that building is cursed. For me, I hate going by that building.
Oh my God, Paul, it's affected you.
Drama.
You know, we also, we're in charge of the weigh-ins. You know, that's the night before, and that's when the doctors, do all the medicals, and we collect all the contracts, and they get their sports physicals, and they actually get on the scale, and then they have a face-off. So we run the weigh-in too.
Oh, they always fight during the weigh-in.
Yeah,
so
you gotta hold them back.
Did you have to deal with that? Sometimes they fall through the backdrop that they set up,
Yeah.
and then it exposes that they're just in a gigantic ballroom, and there's people back there like eating salad. And then, have people ever gotten in fights during the weigh-in?
Yeah, a couple of times, but
See how calm?
for the most part, they're under control. I mean, these guys are, for the most part, the fighters are professional. It's the people that surround the fighters that are not.
That's what Seth says. Seth says the fighters, for the most part, are all on the up and up. He
Is
says
there
the
entourage?
promoters are the and the entourage.
So, Paul,
Yeah,
Have you ever been on a weigh-in where they do the awkward move where they get on the scale, but before they get on the scale, they take off what equates to, I only imagine, 5 ounces of tiny man panties?
They also organize things down there to make sure that it doesn't assume the shape that it was in the panties, if you know what I mean. They organize.
And then they're like, their buddy or whatever puts a washcloth over the genitals. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I mean, there's...
I love it, yeah.
Guys will strip down, it's to the ounce, that they're weighed. So, underwear weigh 2 ounces. And if they're 2 ounces over...
I wear 9-ounce underwear, big. I got him.
Can't they just weigh the panties beforehand? They'd be like, all right, minus 2 ounces.
The 2 ounces.
My God.
How much your panties weigh?
I like that.
Dan's wearing his 9-ouncers.
They have women trainers.
I wouldn't make them take their underwear off. If they're 2 ounces over, I'd look at the other team and say, look, he's 2 ounces over. He's got his underwear on. He's at weight. But if it was a big televised event or if it was a title fight, they would make the guy take his underwear off.
All right.
That's ridiculous.
Take your underwear off. War machine.
They're never embarrassed at all either. Yeah. They do not care.
I'm not embarrassed to take my underwear. When my wife says take your underwear off, I go, yes, ma'am. They're down.
In front of a bunch of people with cameras
I could take my underwear down in front. We have guests in our lobby, and if you say go in there and take your underwear down, I can do it. And you'd thank me for my service. You'd be like, holy crap, he did that fast. I'd be like, I'm a professional.
So, Paul.
Well, we give them a towel. I mean, they get sometimes they get like a tablecloth and somebody will stand
tablecloth? I don't need a tablecloth.
It's too big.
Yeah, that's too much. What do you wrap me up like a swaddle me like baby Jesus? I don't need that much.
Then there's the Shirley Temple napkin.
Yeah, exactly. What do you got? Got a Post-it note? So, and I don't mean the big Post-its. I mean the ones that CPAs use to flag where you sign.
So, Paul, how much does this job pay?
At the time, it paid about $96,000.
Yeah, that's an awesome job. $100K, and you just walk around and yell at people.
Yeah, but you're dealing with sketchy people left and right.
And I'm surprised you have to go to every one of these fights. You can't just
send your friends,
right?
Yeah, send out some assistant or oversee it from your office or what. I mean, do you have to be there?
Well, I had an assistant executive director who covered as many as he could, and
he could. Now you got to get a girl.
Well, there was a female executive director once, and she was absolutely miserable. I mean, I think she had a hard time in the job, but so I came after her. But I had an assistant that helped cover the events.
Sorry, Paul.
I'm just trying to make Tom laugh.
I mean, that's pretty good money, but it just...
I think it's great money.
But
I think $100,000...
No, but he's a lawyer. I feel like you can make that money doing other jobs that are not as
easier,
stressful.
yes.
Yeah, they're easier to deal with. You don't have to deal with the stress and most of the pain in the ass of everybody's job are the people you deal with, right?
Yes.
That's it. So if you're customer service, your job stinks because you're dealing with the general public bitching about their IKEA furniture or the Walmart.
Wait a minute. Did you call customer service about those legs?
No, I'm just saying. So then, and then the rest of it goes up from there, and you the perfect scenario is you deal with nobody, right? You make a bunch of money and you don't have to deal with anybody.
Well, the perfect attorney job for me, at least I've been told, is the one where you're just reviewing corporate contracts all day and you never see another human. But Paul sounds like the type of guy that he would go crazy if he did that, because he's looking back on this wrestling, MMA, boxing job is quite frankly, the most exciting attorney job he's ever had. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there will never be a job as exciting as that. I mean, I sit at a desk now.
Yeah, it's cool that you got to do that, though, too. And, may I ask your age, if you don't mind?
48.
Yeah, so maybe that was a younger man's job. I don't think I'm 45, so I'm right there with you. I'm not sure I'd want to be going to all the boxing events.
Paul, I look back at the Drunky the Bear days, and I think to myself, I was like, there never will be a more exciting time in my life.
There's some truth to that.
There's
some truth to that.
With all the jumping and all
the boxes we set up, cardboard, all the cardboard. Can never forget the cardboard.
And the betting and the getting myself into situations. Oh man, the good old days, right, Paul?
Yeah, well, the people were very difficult. I mean, there's always angry people, and
Do you ever
And,
get hit or into a fight? Did anybody ever challenge you, bro?
No, not me personally. Somebody attacked a referee one time, and I had to run in and break that up.
You had to break it up? This doesn't seem like part of the job description.
He thirsts for that excitement, man. Paul is a secret. He's a secret, like, adrenaline junkie. Look at him now. He's regretting. He's like, I sit behind a desk now. You want to get back out there and fight again, don't you, bro? You got the itch.
Well, I don't think I'd do it again. I mean, it's
sounds like
I did it for 3 years, and I was promoted from that into an even higher level position. So I was glad to get out, but I did miss it.
Interesting.
Paul, I'm sure you're familiar, last question here, but with, like, every once in a while there's gigantic fights that break out in, like, a boxing match.
The melees?
Yeah, the melees.
I love a good melee. Oh, man, I love a melee.
And there's some, like, infamous ones. I think one of the paraglider one, the paraglider.
Oh, that one was great.
But
they got him, started beating him to death in the middle of the ring.
When the melees break out in boxing matches, an interesting thing happens because the first couple rows of even spectators are somehow affiliated with the fighting industry.
They start fighting,
so they all can fight too. So everybody's mad and down testosterone.
There's always at least 3 to 5 mixture of old black men, old white men getting pushed over. Always.
Yeah.
Because they're old trainers and they get
they're
in
old
there.
Boxers too.
And they know what they're doing, but they're not sturdy from the waist down. They're stiff like we are now, and they go fall over like a bunch of dominoes.
And then even the announcers are former fighters. Like everybody around.
It's a lot of heavy hands.
Yeah, and they all just start fight crazy. And
it's in their blood. They love it.
And the melee happens. Have you ever even gotten close to something like that?
Yeah, a couple of times close, but it's usually, just arguing, pushing.
It's a lot. Hey! A lot of that.
And it happens a lot when a referee, a referee's job is to stop a fight. If a fighter, takes, 3 or 4 or 5 unanswered punches, a referee's supposed to stop the fight. But a lot of times they'll stop the fight early, and, that's a TKO. And that, everybody gets mad at the referee, and, seeing people throw things. The fighter that was TKO'd, his camp always gets angry and screams at the referee. And actually, that's why that promoter ran in the cage and fought the referee, because he stopped the fight early. So the promoter was upset about it, so he ran in and they started fighting.
Now, I mean,
like how calm Paul is.
Is there any once the ref stops the fight, that's it? They can't be like, oh, no, I stopped it too early.
Hold on. All right, do over.
Unfortunately, that's it. I mean, that's the final decision. So it sometimes they're wrong, but you can't undo the decision.
It's crazy.
But you can kill the ref in the parking lot after the fight.
Yeah,
you can fast stab him in the parking lot.
I feel bad for the ref because in one, like, he's like, stop, because he wants to save the guy's brain.
I want to save you. Don't save his brains. He doesn't have any brains.
But then they get so mad if, like, the guy's not completely knocked out, and he's still woozy. The guy's getting punched. His hands are down, and then and then as soon as he stops the fight, the guy, like, gets it back together. He's like, oh, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
Like, you weren't fine. You got punched 5 times. You weren't even.
Your eyes were crossed. I knew you were fine.
The fighter never agreed. The guy who gets TKO'd never agrees with the decision. He always says, I could have kept going, but.
Yeah.
That's why they should make it 4 knockdowns. If they make it 4, I feel like we'd all agree. If it gets to 4, we'll pull you out.
And I also like how the test that you're still okay.
Look at my finger.
If it is they grab the top of your gloves. They're like, push upwards. All right, he's good.
He's pushing up. He's just fine. This is like science. This is science.
He banged his gloves together. He's fine. His brain is fine.
Or they do the thing where they put their finger and they're like, oh yeah, he's good. He's fine. He followed my finger. It's tried and true.
His eyeballs can still move. He's fine.
Well, sometimes the ringside physician will step in and ask questions like, what's your name? What city are you in?
That's the lowest form of physician, right? Ringside physician. Yeah. If you ask on a plane, you're like, any doctors on a plane, and there's a guy raising their hand, I'm a ringside physician. You'd go like, no. We be real doctors.
It's medical marijuana doctor. Ringside physician.
No. Believe it or not,
Dr. Dre.
Real doctors. These are real real doctors that have practice. I mean, there were a couple were neurologists. I mean, they really knew their stuff.
I laugh at all of them, though. Even the ones for the Orlando City, the one for the Magic, all of it. Like, I look at it, I'm like, I know why you're there. The tickets. That's why you're there. Because why would I be there? The tickets.
And the excitement.
Yeah, the excitement. And getting to say, like, I'm the ringside doctor. That's a cool thing to say.
Like, I'm pretty sure no doctor would stand around while someone gets CTE over and over again. Right in front of you.
Hey, you're getting paid.
CTE is a real, thing, and brain damage is a real thing. And I kind of at the very end was having kind of a moral, dilemma.
Yeah.
Of, I'm taking part in these guys. Basically getting brain damage. I mean, and you see people decline, and actually the youngest person ever to be diagnosed with CTE was in Florida, was a 26-year-old MMA fighter, professional MMA fighter. He got ran over on a bike or something, and they did an autopsy and found out he had pretty advanced CTE for 26 years old. So it's, a lot of fighters get it. I mean, especially boxers. You see older boxers that are punch drunk and they can't talk, and it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Although, of all the names of something super sad, Punch Drunk, it sounds at least as
He does. Punch drunk. And then they always put, he's punch drunk in love. They always put it with something good.
Yeah.
No, it means his brain is Swiss cheese.
Look, you're punch drunk. Or I'm punchy. Look, I'm punchy. I'm just punchy today.
Yeah, but Paul, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it like you were trying to do the best possible job for the fighter, so they are the safest.
Yeah,
so,
you sound like a good dude, and I'm glad that you actually were there. You probably did a lot of good.
Well, that's the whole reason for the commission is and the difference in a sanctioned and non-sanctioned fight, like a tough man fight at a bar. I mean, they're not sanctioned. They don't have ringside physicians. They don't have ambulances. They don't have insurance. They don't, they're dangerous because people can die. So that's the whole reason the commission is there, is to keep people safe as possible.
Well, Paul, thanks for telling us about your weird job.
Yeah, man, you were great. That was this was a really unexpected, cool, weird job. Really good one.
Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yep, no problem. If we ever talk boxing again, I guess you don't really know that much about it, so
if we ever talk like calm law, we'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Well, I could talk to you about the regulation of boxing all day long.
No, all right.
Feel free.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, see you, Paul.
All right, bye, guys.
All right,
Bye.
later, buddy. What a good dude.
Yeah, he sounds like a good dude.
He's so chill.
Although, man, like...
I love calm people like that. You're a little bit like that, but then you have like flashes of me, which scares me a little bit. But that guy's totally calm. Calm Paul.
I could never do that job just because...
Yeah, you could. You'd be good at it.
No, those guys...
You wouldn't want to do it, but you'd be good at it.
The Miami boxing promoters would push me around and get me to do...
Yeah, but you're so calm.
Yeah, I'm calm,
Then you'd get into shady business. Next thing you know, you're getting locked up.
We'd be rich, though, for a while. For a solid 2 years.
Riding the lightning for a couple years.
Yeah, I couldn't... Because then, someone dies in the ring because
then it's on your... You got blood on your hands.
Then you just bury the guy under the roller coaster. Righteous Gemstones. You're gonna have to cover up some. You're gonna have to cover up some dirty stuff. Have we ever? What's the biggest thing that in Tom? Maybe I shouldn't ask this on the air. What's the biggest thing in Tom and Dan history that we've just brushed under the rug?
Oh, there's a lot.
I'm trying to do that with appreciation.
I know. I was going to say that's probably the biggest one.
I started to go make a post
today.
I
brushed
it down.
Rug. You brushed
it down.
You brushed Lee under the rug. Ross, Lee, Ross. Put him in there. Everybody. Dirty Jim. Everyone.
No, I didn't brush anybody.
No, you didn't. But I think this Appreciation Week is the biggest by far. I think it's bigger than OLE.
Well, next year, BDM Appreciation Week at OLE.
Yes.
Oh, my God. It's a church, so it's going to be weird. You guys better dress up. You better put on them ICP shoes and show out.
All right. Let's. Should we take a break or keep going? Let's keep going.
Let's just keep going. I got a voicemail.
Let's do a voicemail.
I can do a voicemail to fill the void. Plug something real fast while I grab this.
Check out all our watering holes, TomandDanWateringHoles.com. Cafe Da Vinci and The Land, they constantly got shows
always
going on.
Got good shows.
Tuffy's Music Box always has shows. West End has shows. In their redone venue. There's tons of breweries on there as well, and they all have a watering hole plaque.
Do I have the voicemail for you in honor of Samantha's birthday? Happy 30th birthday, Sam. Here is a message from her favorite voicemail person.
Tom and Dan and Samantha and Jim from Lakeland here. On a recent ACT, you guys were talking about ways that thrifty parents would try to amuse their kids, like taking them to ride the People Mover at the airport or to ride the elevators in public buildings or walking around construction sites. That kind of brought to mind what my folks used to do. Pop would take us to the pet store, but only after the pet store was closed so we could look in the windows at all the interesting animals inside the pet store without actually being able to ask for any of them, because the pet store, of course, wasn't open. So we could look at the snakes and lizards and puppies and cats and birds and all that. So it was like the cheapest form of a zoo that you could possibly think of. And that's what Pop would do. But my stepmom, she was a little bit more of an action sports type person. So if there was ever an ambulance or fire truck in the neighborhood, we'd hear the sirens go by. She was literally an ambulance chaser. So it would just round up the kids and all go take a look at whatever misery or misfortune someone was going through.
That's terrible.
And so we got to see auto accidents and house fires and all that sort of thing, and we were exactly the worst kind of neighbor to stand out there and just stare at other people's misery. But it was cheap entertainment, so there you go. Take care, folks. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
We love you too, buddy. Good to hear from you. We don't hear from you enough, but I understand people get busy. And he sounded different, like he got a new phone or something. See, I don't think about you guys at all.
We don't appreciate it.
No, but seriously, like when he called in, I'm like, you sound different. You're on a different phone. So, like, you guys are part of my blanking life. Like, I missed you, Jim. Where you been, buddy?
Jim, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's not...
No, it sounds like a poor family
Yes,
is what
it
it
does.
sounds like
Yes,
to
it
me.
does.
It doesn't sound crazy. I used to go to the pet store, Petland, Volusia Mall. Now, my mom and dad were not as calculated as Jim's parents. They would not wait until it was closed. I got to go in, but yeah, it was cheap entertainment. Spencer's, pet store.
See, in my experience, cheap people are usually not poor, and poor people not cheap.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
In the
I know what you mean by that,
in the stereotype or what I've seen.
Poor people blow money, and rich people. A lot of them are cheap.
Cheap is a mentality.
Yeah, you're right.
And then taking your family to chase ambulances to watch, like there are parks out there. They're free community activities that your taxes pay for. There are things that
there's community pools that all you have to do is sign up.
Yeah. I mean, the library is free.
Yeah, it is.
If you live near, and they have activities at all times. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of free stuff. You don't have to go chase an ambulance and watch a house fire. Like, that's insane, right? Like, that's not trying to save money. It's weird.
And it just shows the difference, too, because I can remember my mom kind of instilling in me. I can remember an ambulance on our street. That's kind of rare. But I think we did get one, maybe two, of me growing up to to the age of 16, let's say. And my mom and dad were real big on, no, do not look. Do not get involved. That is their business.
Oh, I look out the
away.
window.
Yeah.
I don't stand in my front yard because
My mom's got binoculars. We're looking out.
I was told not to. My mom and dad yell at me, even driving by.
It is
look
a rude
away.
thing to do.
Like even driving by rubbernecking. My dad kind of spicy, right? He would, don't be rubbernecking, don't be looking, don't be slowing down. Just continue, mind your business. There might be some bad stuff. Walk away, Dan Lee. You don't be looking at that.
Every time a fire truck or an ambulance comes down to my cul-de-sac, me and my wife, we turn off all the lights and we start looking out the window.
And
Turn off all the lights.
Yeah, it's a lot, too, because you guys live on like an emergency road, right?
We look out, we're like, well, what's happening? And they were like seeing into our neighbor's business.
I do like that. There was one time when an ambulance stopped right below my balcony. And I had the door open, right?
Yeah.
And they were loading some lady on a gurney and pushing her in the back. And I was already out on the balcony, just kind of sitting there, tucked. You know the way my house is.
Yeah.
Kind of tucked in close to the actual windows on a love seat. And they couldn't see me, but I could see over. And you're right. There was a very voyeuristic, I felt like, ooh, I get to see what's happening here.
If you are looking at your neighbor's business, don't stand out in your front yard sipping coffee.
What, you mean go inside, turn the lights off, and peer through the window?
You have to hide. Don't blatantly stand in your front yard sipping coffee.
But what is creepier? Being obvious that you're actually watching, or turning all your lights off and looking out like a weirdo.
Well, I'm trying to hide from them so they don't see me. I'm not going to stand out there drinking coffee I'm watching your business.
I see what you're saying,
right?
Sam, but I think
on paper it sounds creepier to turn all your lights off and look through your blinds.
If they knew, it's definitely creepier, but they won't know because I'm hiding.
I always do the move where I'm like, Do I need to turn the light? Yeah, I need to turn the lights on and off in here so they can't see me.
Right.
Yeah.
From out there.
Yeah. That's how. Yeah, dark house. They can't see. That's the problem with when you have
Wait,
the
is it
lights
red on black, friend of Jack, black on yellow, kill a fella.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to a Corporate Time. We've got a guest. She's going to be out at the hurricane party.
Yeah, we're getting a vast majority of these hurricane party performers. We get to actually talk to them, which is really, really cool. And on the line with us right now, and we have to be very careful because this is treading into, we're talking to the kids. We're talking to the younger people.
She's an adult. She's 19.
Yeah, she is, but I feel like you were already a little bit embarrassing me when you were talking to her off air because for whatever reason, you have trouble talking to women.
Oh, come on.
See, I can hear you're intimidated. You're intimidated. On the line with us right now, Sierra Lane is on the line, and you are a singer, songwriter, musician. You're on Law Records. You know the knuckleheads that are the supervillains. How's it going?
Hi, guys. It's going good. I'm super stoked to be talking with you guys today. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so nice to give us the time and to actually act like you want to be here. Doing press, you will find. Go ahead, Tom.
Sierra, I'm curious because being so young like you are, I'm sure you have a totally different perception of media. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We're old men.
Yeah. It's like radio show.
Yeah. This is actually going to be broadcast on the radio. Does that even matter to you? Does it? You're like, radio?
And be honest.
The hell is that?
Yeah, we're not
we
really.
will not be offended.
I can't speak on behalf of the rest of the people in my generation, but I honestly think it's pretty cool. I have never been on a radio show. I've had my song play on radio, but I haven't had, like, my voice on the radio.
Oh, well, hold on a second then. All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Now you guys think you're somebody.
Big Daddy Radio here can make your dreams come true.
Oh,
it would be a bigger deal if, like, you were on Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. Obviously, they got a way bigger. I mean,
I watched a Q&A with her, and they did ask her favorite YouTubers. No mention of radio.
Yeah.
Well, because she's like radio.
Right,
you can be on YouTube. That's how you get famous.
Well, Sierra,
who's your favorite TikTok influencer?
Yes,
radio. Concrete Mike is listening.
So, Sierra, who is your favorite YouTube influencer right now?
Oh, wow. I don't even remember what I answered on that other interview.
Well, it may have changed.
I'm so old, I had no idea who they were that you mentioned.
Yeah. It may have changed.
There's two. Their names are Curtis Connor and Cody Co. They just kind of do almost like reactions to things, but they have really funny personalities. One of them is actually a comedian, and so he's pretty funny. His Curtis's content's a little more like immature, but it's like hilarious. He brings light to like some cool topics, but that's kind of like my favorite. I also like to watch a lot of tattoo stuff, but
okay.
Yeah.
I have tattoos.
No,
cut
it out.
Lots of them.
Oh, yeah, so does a bunch of old
I do too.
I'm very cool.
So my pop-up in World War II.
I have tattoos, and on YouTube, I watch News Be Crazy.
I don't know what that is.
It's news bloopers. It's news bloopers. It's newscasters.
I watch TikTok with
Don't say it.
What? Jimmy O.B. It's the
Jimmy O.B.
We were talking about it yesterday. You know, it's the Irish.
Okay, what just happened, what you just witnessed, and so did Sierra, is Tom wanted to reference that Timmy O.T. song, the sea shanty, that's on TikTok, but he got so excited and he got in his own old man brain. He was like, I can impress Sierra with my TikTok knowledge, and you just saw a full freak out of him going, oh, don't Timmy O.T., hold it above it, and see, she's laughing because she knows the Timmy O.T. song. This guy just had a full-blown freak out. We are making complete asses out of ourselves.
So, Sierra,
I think you guys are hilarious. So,
oh, thank you,
Sierra.
I have tattoos as well.
All right.
So, when did you start your musical career? Because it seems like you have a tremendous amount of drive. And were you real young when you realized this is what you wanted to do with your life?
When I was a kid, I was like I would take music class really seriously, way more serious than the other kids. And then one day I realized that my mom told me to stop saying this, but I didn't feel like I was good at anything else besides music. Like, I picked up the guitar, can't dance, can't play sports. I'm very uncoordinated in that aspect of things, but I picked up the guitar for the first time, and I learned how to play Seven Nation Army in a week, and I was so proud of myself.
Self-taught?
But, I am self-taught. Yes, I did take lessons at one point, but they wanted to teach me a lot of music theory, and while music theory is important, I was more of a visual learner. So what I know now is what I've just memorized, the shapes of what I play. I know what I'm playing to a certain extent, but I'm mostly self-taught, and
that's cool.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was about.
No musicians in the family, like mom and dad, obviously supportive, or any siblings that played, or just you?
Just me, honestly. My grandma, always dabbled a little bit. She has this beautiful piano at her house that all of us have been playing since we were kids and stuff. And that was kind of the first instrument I ever touched. So she's kept music
cool.
around since I was a kid, but no one has taken it seriously. I'm the only one that plays guitar, I think. I'm pretty sure.
That's neat.
Were your parents super impressed that you taught yourself how to play guitar? Because I feel like if my kids taught themselves how to do anything, I would be like, oh my God!
Well, that's true. Your kids don't do anything.
I want to give you money. I can't believe you're doing it. You want to teach yourself how to do this, and you did it?
That's a lot of drive, yeah.
Yeah, they were very excited. Not only that I found something I was interested in, but that I was so full force about it. Honestly, to this day, I think music has been the one thing that I've been the most consistent with. Anything else that I've picked up and tried to do, I gave up within a week and whatnot. But I think
cool.
Music's the only thing I've truly connected to.
So how did you get to a point? I mean, you just released the single on March 11th. You got a new single that I urge everybody to go and find. It's called Little Things. It's on Law Records. Shout out to those guys. We know them. And how did you link up and get to a point where, because it's one thing, like Tom said, it's one thing to sit in your bedroom, teach yourself guitar, but it's another thing to get to a point where you're actually on a professional level, writing, recording,
doing gigs,
doing the Hurricane Party, working with the guys some cashed out, other people that are professional musicians. That when you up the ante and you make it a little bit more, that's a lot more serious. So did it change your perspective on music, or is this sort of where you wanted to go with things? How has the business side of it and the more professional side of things been for you?
Honestly, it's been super. I don't want to say it's been easy, but it honestly has been in a way. I feel while I have worked hard, I feel like it just was something that was natural. So I felt almost as if it was almost a validating moment of this was what I was meant to do. Because when I was first starting out, I didn't even expect to start playing bar gigs that. I didn't even know that was a thing. And so I didn't truly have a real direction I wanted to take it. I just kind of went with the flow, and opportunities started coming to me, and I took them. I took everyone that was possible, and I'm now where I am now, and I'm very grateful for it, and very grateful for all the people that helped me along the way too. I think that's what made it the easiest. Is I've had a good circle of people around me that support me, and also just people that know other people, and spreading my name around, which is very helpful. And I don't know. I'm very excited and eternally grateful for where I'm at.
The chat room is, we're live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, and I know Tom has a question for you, but I think if I were to take a main idea of the chat room, it's that it's very cool, and you and I do this a lot of times when we meet younger people. The chat room is all consistently saying 19 and this well put together. It always blows people's minds when you hear, when you hear from somebody.
I'm 20 now. I am 20 now.
Okay. So we got old information here.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Dom gave us the wrong answer.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dom. How old's he? Like 50 now? Oh, my God. Good Lord, that guy. Last time I saw him at Weston, his hair was all gray. I was like, who is that? It looked like an old senator.
Dom was playing drums while you were born.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Sierra,
they're just singing, drinking at night.
this is not so much a question, but an observation and a complaint about being old.
Okay. I'm sure that Sierra loves those.
I was looking at your bio, and after you taught yourself how to play guitar, it mentions that you started learning on YouTube instructional videos and stuff. Like they taught you how to further play guitar. And I was thinking about like my friends in the 90s when they had to learn to play guitar. There was two options: hire an old man.
Yeah, I hired an old man. Yeah, that's what I did.
Or go to the library and check out books on guitars that were written 30 years ago.
VCR tapes, dude.
And about classical guitar or like whatever nerd guitar you didn't want to play. But there was no other option.
You could buy like tab magazines too.
Yeah, like maybe a magazine.
Or early internet, there were like tab websites. But
you go to Guitar Center.
I actually have some like tab books, like original like tablature stuff like that I used to love to look through as a kid before I even played guitar. I was like, what is this? This is so cool. And
it's a relic.
It's like you're looking through like Moses's tablets, you know, like
it blows my mind.
I found it in the piano chair at my grandma's house.
Yeah, like when you lift up the seat. Yeah, everybody lifts up your grandma's
What's going on
the
in there?
seat on the piano chair, and you had two things to be in there. It would either be old music books or weed. That's how you laugh at an old man show. Hold on a second.
I got sad.
Sierra, you naturally did what teen girls do to old man shows. They go,
You gave Daniel what I like to call the bank teller.
I didn't know that you were allowed. I wasn't expecting the weed joke when you said I was supposed to keep it PG earlier.
Oh, no.
We're sponsored by a weed company.
This old man loves weed.
Yeah,
He's high right now.
I'm the weed old man.
He's old man weed.
That's what they call me. My God. I'm sitting in a chair made of weed right now.
So, Sierra, what is like the way to get yourself out there the most is getting picked up by some social media, either like viral video or someone plays your music on their TikTok video.
Which platform do you like the most?
I love Instagram for what it is. Honestly, like that's where I started posting first. I love the idea of TikTok, and I love how much exposure people are getting on it. I just haven't figured out my own algorithm on it to get the views that I, am particularly looking for to spread my brand.
Sure.
So because of that, because I haven't figured out the method of the madness on TikTok yet, I prefer Instagram. Also, Reels on Instagram which is kind of Instagram's way of like making it into TikTok, but with Instagram.
Yeah.
Those are way easier to get views on. Like I see random videos of somebody trying on a Instagram filter and has 200,000 likes, and even on TikTok, like there are things that get that many likes, but it's not as like mundane as just someone trying a funny filter,
Yeah.
So I definitely like Instagram. I'm still like, with the new features they're adding, I'm still like learning like the algorithms every day because it changes. I know they've changed like the order of your feed. Instead of doing it chronologically now, they just do it randomly, I guess.
Dom's dead inside.
I'm trying to understand.
As you were talking and explaining everything, I was just watching Tom, and I was just watching. I was watching.
I'm listening. I'm trying to understand what you're saying because I need to know it for our business.
I saw your brain try to crawl out of your head and run to the bathroom.
Well, we have to do that for our business. Sierra, we got into podcasting back in 2009.
Yeah, and we're like, this will never change. We're like, this is the future forever.
Yeah. So now, as we become old men, we're still trying to become or stay relevant.
Stay relevant.
Yeah. So we're on TikTok now, and then I'm trying to look through
we're
TikTok
doing
and understand
push-up contests or standing doing a handstand. Oh, video me.
Which I don't even really understand why, because all our listeners are our age and they don't understand it either. So like, why are you trying to get 20-years-olds to listen? They're never listening to you old men.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What I've taken away from TikTok is that randomness is key. I have a video. This sounds funny. Like you'd have to see it to actually grasp it. So I'm gonna try my best to explain it.
Yeah.
I have a septum piercing, and I just was bored one day, and I filmed a video of me trying to see if I could how someone would lick their nose with their tongue, touch their tongue to their nose. I was trying to touch my tongue to my septum piercing.
Yeah.
And
I can already tell you why that got so many views without you saying anything else. But go ahead, but proceed.
I didn't want
Come on, Sam.
I didn't want to be disgusting old man. I was just going to sit here quietly and be like, yep.
No, it's a trick. I get you.
No, I think there's some I think
a pretty girl
licking a nose ring.
Yeah.
No.
I totally get that. But I think that was because of it was just a random me being stupid type thing. That was my first video that got 700 likes, and then once I posted a video directly after that, and that video got 18,000 views, and I said this is I just have to be dumb on here, and I'll get the views.
If I started licking my nose ring, everybody'd be like, "Look at that pig licking its nose ring." I bet.
Hold on, I'll do anything to be rich. So what can I do?
She got rich.
Well, lick my nose ring, bro.
I'll do the videos or whatever they want. Need Sierra to
I'm
teach
just glad that the dancing on TikTok has calmed down because I can't dance.
Me neither.
For anything.
Me neither. Phil Collins.
Yeah. I have a problem
I'm glad
as well.
that I don't need to dance.
But Sierra, you have to be able to dance. I mean, you say you can't dance, but you probably can do better than 90%.
You're better than we are. If you got up there and just with your limited dancing ability, you'd still crush me and Tom.
I don't know. I'm a very awkward person, so I don't think I could pull it off.
How tall are you? Because I'm little, so when I dance, I look really weird. When little people dance, they just look novelty.
Like a penguin.
I'm about average female height. I'm 5'5".
That's
taller than Dan.
Taller than me. You tower over me. My God.
Actually.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I'm deformed. I have unfortunate legs. Yeah.
There's a van involved. The whole thing.
Yeah, I have rotten legs. I drive a rotten leg van.
There's permits involved.
If I were coming to see your show, I would have to get a special scooter. I'd sit up front. Let's just say.
Well, Sierra Lang, she's going to be at the Hurricane Party coming up at the end of May out at West End.
Go check out the brand new single, Little Things. I found it on Spotify. Where would you like people to find it? I always ask musicians that. If somebody were to download your music, can they purchase it? What's better for you, the musician?
I enjoy Spotify a lot, but Apple Music is probably the next one that I would prefer.
Okay. There we go. So grab it on Spotify. And Sierra, thanks so much for the time. And tell everybody we said, hey, give them some love from us, okay?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
You too. And we'll see you at the Hurricane Party. She is really, really cute.
Yeah. I'm always
a cool kid.
Too sweet for this show.
I know, right?
Super impressed by...
Smarty Pants.
I say kids, but you're not a kid. Young women or men that age.
Look, if you legally can't drink, in my opinion, you're still a kid.
Dude, when you're 19, just turned 20, I think I'm okay.
She was proud she turned 20, too.
I am okay with calling you a kid. Not a child, you're not a baby, but you're a kid,
you're young,
man.
Yeah.
You're young. What a cool...
I think that's insulting, though.
It is.
Like, when I was 20, I remember when, 40-years be like, you're a kid. I'm like,
I don't mean
screw
it
you,
to be
old
insulting.
man. No, I know. But you're right.
Yeah.
You had the perception because you're like, oh, man, when I was 20...
I was a kid, yeah.
But when you were 20, you're like, you're an old man. You don't know nothing. I know everything.
It makes me happy and it inspires me and makes me feel like better for the future when you talk to like a young musician who's like just turned 20 and you're like, wow, you're going to really do this because no matter what she goes in. I can do this with people now. Like, I'll start talking to a person and I'll be like, no matter what you choose to do, you're going to be okay with it because you're just good. You just have a good head on your shoulders.
But also the drive people have, like that's, really the base of all you need is like, as long as you have the drive, the motor that pushes your ambition, you'll do something.
Well, then
I see people all the time that don't, like, you don't have no drive. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like people, like they have these grandiose dreams, but they don't want to put the work in, and then it's like, no way you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Luck. Some people make it by luck.
A lot of people do. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't last because the drive makes it last.
What's most impressive to me with her is not the music, and I don't want that to sound insulting either. Any young person, I believe, can find a guitar that, for a little bit of money. Any young person can sit in their room and noodle, right? Any young person can, try to assemble a song, right? What any young person can't do is make the phone calls, hit the pavement, line up the gigs, write the song, organize it, or get with the guys that write better songs than you and learn from them.
And as a young female.
Right.
In the music industry and trying to go play at bars and stuff. Like, you got to put up with some crap.
Easier now than 30 years ago.
Oh, of course.
It was like, it was real bad. Like, imagine, like, in the 70s, you were Forrest Gump's girlfriend nude at playing guitar, but the sailors were throwing beer bottles.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha is also here. Didn't need to say that. Voicemail.
I appreciate it, though.
I take it back. I take it back.
Okay.
I don't. You know what? You only get one announcement a show.
All right. Fair enough.
Two might go to your head a little bit, I think.
Who do I think I am, John Busdecker?
Yeah, you might think you're Busdecker. That guy is oddly.
Everywhere.
He's a bully, though. He is a grade A bully.
He even bullies Brendan on Bungalow in the Bus. I don't know
that's
if you
my
guys
favorite part. Maybe that's just their love language. Maybe
I don't know.
He's the dom.
Sometimes.
He's the dom, and Brendan's the sub. Let's try this one. It was a thank you message, and I think it rambles and it's long. And
hey, Tom and Dan, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the scratchy and the autographed card and a little decal.
I've never heard him called scratchies before, and that's why I saved this message. When he said that, I was like, what are you, a baby?
I don't like the term scratcher either. I don't like scratchy, scratcher. It's a scratch off.
Wow.
That's the hill he's dying on.
I'm serious. When I see people, thanks for the scratcher.
I like it. Say
Why does it bother you?
I want you to say scratch off lottery ticket.
No, I don't like a scratcher. It sounds weird.
The scratcher sounds like a guy that's itchy and he can't stop scratching his balls. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got a scratcher.
Oh, who's that guy? I caught the scratcher peering in my window last night. He was just standing there scratching his balls. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
The scratcher.
I don't like it.
He's like a guy that comes to your house. I'm so itchy. I'm just going to scratch. All right.
Hey, Tom and Dan, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the scratchy and the autographed card and a little decal and whatnot. It was really cool. Wasn't expecting it, man. I listened to the show, and I know you guys are only giving out, to as many as you could, and much appreciated, man. It put a big smile on my face. Didn't win anything on the scratchy, but it was fun.
Double scratchy.
Lottery ticket or scratchy ticket. And
Wait a minute.
Scratcher
Wait a minute. Then he says lottery ticket, scratcher ticket. Hold on. You're all over the place.
Yeah,
you knew what it was called and you still called it a scratchy?
In the middle of this phone call, he realized that it's not called a scratchy. And then he's like, oh, scratcher.
Oh, God, they probably think I'm they probably hate
they're going
me.
to play this.
Oh, Tom's going to really get me good. He hates scratchies.
And stop talking about it. It's making everybody mad.
20 years, probably. So it was really cool, man. I'm over here in D-Land, and it was cool to get something, man. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
We've lost more BDMs than we've ever had.
BDM depreciation.
People are canceling crazy.
Are they really? I don't check. I don't look at it anymore.
Don't look
It's like social media.
I'm like, oh, we lost it. This is not good.
Hundreds. He called back.
I just wanted to add to my last little message I sent.
Scratchy.
Because I just started listening to the BDM show for the BDM thank you. And anybody that has like an attitude about getting something, I mean, I can understand you didn't have to do it. But the conspiracy theory people and all that kind of crap, man. I mean, I left the Facebook page a while back.
Don't talk about it.
Because it just, it kind of, there's a lot of negativity on there.
You're helping.
And Tom's right. Everyone goes to do a review. They always want to be negative. And,
oh, my God.
People don't really, put out the positive vibes too much. And it can be too much. But y'all didn't have to do anything.
You're right.
We shouldn't have.
I appreciate
we should
that
not
you did
have.
something big time. It was special to me. Life goes by real fast. So
nice God, he's going deep.
Like, cool,
looking back. my scratchy turned 3 just the other day. I didn't scratch it in the Tom and Dan way. They sent it to me on Appreciation Day. I put it in my underwear drawer, they say.
I do like when someone's intentions are good, although all what they're saying is making it worse. Like I do too, yeah. I stopped following you guys a long time ago. The content just wasn't what
it doesn't hold up.
And then
one-trick pony.
I got it on the BDM page. I played God,
I hate it. All the people there are terrible. They're all bad people.
Yeah, but I'm still, I still pay my $1.95.
But I'm still a proud $1.95er when my card doesn't decline it, and then I struggle for months to get it back up and running. Enjoy my less than $2.
Anyway.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Dan. I'm listening to something Rodney. I'm way behind, and you guys were talking about celebrities retiring. My issue is, say you've got a band like Kiss or a singer or a rapper or somebody like Jay-Z who does a farewell tour because they're retiring. They sell out 30-something arenas, make billions of dollars, and then do the same thing the next year. What about a class action lawsuit? Because I paid for a ticket because it was your farewell tour, thinking it was going to be the last one, and you do another one. So I want my money back for the tour that I paid for, thinking it was the last one.
I don't think it would fly, but yeah, I can see why you would be angry.
Maybe you should ask Mo.
I've always thought that was corny.
It is a bad look. Elton John was just here last night. I thought he already had 2 farewell tours.
No, the pandemic kind of screwed that up.
Okay.
He did the farewell Yellow Brick Road tour that started, I think, in 2019, but it didn't finish up. Like he was supposed to come through once and then come through again.
Gotcha.
And this is the second trip through. But yeah, you're right. It extended. That poor guy's probably like, damn, I was trying to retire.
Right. Now he's got this obligation.
Right.
Yeah.
The farewell tour is a good marketing.
When are we doing ours?
I know we'll start
next BDM Appreciation Week.
I mean, that's been going on in business forever. Like the going out of business sales.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Mattress companies started just doing that, like,
everything must go.
Like going out of business and then just starting up either a new LLC or just not going out of business anymore. And then there's nothing illegal about saying you're going out of business and then don't go out of business.
Well, it does. Okay, there used to be.
But it is kind of cheesy. And
there are people in DeLand that'll know what I'm talking about. There was, I don't think it's around anymore. There was a men's clothing store that had been there since I was, I grew up knowing of this men's clothing store, independent men's clothing store. And it was notorious, owned by a notorious person in town that everybody knew, like a likable guy. But every year he would do a going out of business sale. And it got to be a joke where my dad would be like, "Oh, there's old." I'm not gonna say his name because I think he passed away and his family still. But my dad would drive through town and be like, "Oh, there he is doing his old going out of business sale, just trying to scam us." It felt it. That's how it ended up feeling. And sure enough, then it went full circle. Then it went full circle in the idea that the man doing the going out of business sale, realized that everybody knew he was collectively doing these every year at going out of business sale. So then he, to get in on the joke, just continued to do them every year until he died. Yeah, and then it became like a funny thing with like, he's doing the going, and then it became like everybody accepted it. It was weird, man. Very, very odd. I don't know if that's just a small town thing, but
sounds like it.
It definitely works for items that people buy infrequently, and like mattresses or suits in a small town. Like a lot of people, my grandfather had like 2 suits that he bought in the 70s and never bought a suit again. Like most people.
Isn't that kind of your situation?
Yeah. Like most people buy 1 suit they have for life because they use it for a funeral or a wedding, and then once you get old, you go to very few. Suit.
Like I think my Orlando City Awards Brooke Brothers suit is for funerals now.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
But
ever again.
But even nowadays,
dress up for a fancy date night.
Not in a suit.
I don't care about my wife enough to do that.
Yeah. And the suit is too formal. And
and my wife would laugh at me if I walked out in a suit and we're going out to dinner. She'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
So even nowadays in funerals, funerals are becoming less formal. Yeah, like people don't want you. Like a lot of people don't dress up.
I saw
in suits
a corpse
at
wearing a flat brim. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is relaxed."
And even a job interview, like full blown suit. I mean, depending on if you're a lawyer.
Everything's less formal now.
Yeah.
Even that fat guy that
it's Florida too.
Even that fat guy that gave his testimony in the Amber Heard and Johnny
in
Depp
the car.
trial. Well, he was vaping. That dude was vaping while he was giving his testimony. He's blowing smoke out of his nose. A big fat Hawaiian guy, and he's doing his testimony. The judge or the attorney's asking questions, and he's poofing on the Zoom call.
I love it. It's such a circus.
I was like, how is that even a thing? I'm surprised the judge didn't.
Right?
Are they trolling? They're trolling, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Because you never vape.
You don't vape in court.
And
Everyone
you know it's
knows
being
that.
televised. Like
Yeah. So they're just messing around. And
everything's more relaxed now.
Even Johnny Depp.
and Johnny's just laughing at all of it, you know?
So they're they set that up. They're like, hey, I bet you can vape on the phone call, right? He did it. You're right. I'm surprised the judge didn't be like, put that down.
Tracy's right. His testimony, he said he didn't even read his paperwork because he was tired of dealing with it. That was his answer. His answers are like, did you read the thing? And he's like, no, I didn't read it. I got tired of it. I'm over it.
So the farewell tour with the bands and the artists, that's a direct result of, do they initially really believe it's a farewell tour?
I think so,
and then because of the extra amount of people, like, oh, I got to see him this last time, then it sparks interest in like, hey, I got to keep this going because there's such a demand that it like... You know what I'm saying? Like you slowly die.
Look up how many farewell tours officially Kiss has had. Because I want to say it's been at least 4.
But they've been more cheesy than most, right?
That's the first question that pops up.
Oh, really?
5.
5. See, I think it was pretty close.
They're like 90s radio, right? Like a bunch of put their logo and everything.
Are they or do they or is what you're saying accurate? Okay, let's go with what you originally said because I don't want to like immediately start villainizing them. Let's say what you're saying is right. Let's say they say, yeah, I'm tired of doing this. Farewell tour, let's do it. Farewell 2004 is the tour. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then they start to do it, but then they realize that their band is way more popular than they even knew. And they're like, wow, this is great. You know what? I don't want to do a farewell tour. I think that's okay. I think you're allowed to change your mind. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's not cheesy, but I think you're allowed to change your mind because it's not like they don't sell out, right? Like they sell out.
Okay, business-wise, and maybe this is more calculated.
Like, what would you do if you were Gene Simmons and you and I were doing the Kiss farewell tour, and we wanted to quit, but then let's say the first 2 dates we put them out for sale, and they sold in less than 5 minutes. Sold out. And we're like, oh, all right, that's cool. And then we release the other dates, and they're just selling out. And then we go on tour, and the crowds are immense, and you're like, hey, Dan, I don't know, buddy. I mean,
we can keep it going.
Yeah, we can. We were gonna make $50 million, but if we just go for 6 months more, we can make $100 million. I'm like, put my makeup on, bitch. Let's roll.
I think it's like that. I mean,
what do you think, Sam? It's cheesy.
I think it's all a scam.
It's cheap, but do you think they know in advance?
I think it depends. I think some do and some don't.
Because follow this example because remember we were questioning why Brady announced his retirement, then unretired, and we're like that's kind of cheesy or whatever. But if it was, I mean. His entire brand is worth so much money, right? I'm sure him and a huge group of people have put a lot of thought into the next 5 years of this guy's career, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it was just a planned thing where like, hey, we're going to announce your retirement, and then you come out of retirement. That retirement announcement will be so huge worldwide, so much publicity. And when you come out of retirement, you'll be twice as popular next year because honestly, like, my wife, who doesn't like, or she likes the NFL, but never would go to a game, she has been talking to me multiple times, like, hey, we should go see Brady.
Yeah,
play.
I want to go
and
before he retires.
Hey, I thought I was on the farewell tour of Brady. I saw him last year.
Oh, my God, you were.
And then he retired.
And that is why you said you wanted to see him.
Yeah. And then he came back, that bastard.
Well, if we all go again, we should all go again. I think we should all go.
That ball did, get a settlement back, like his last touchdown thrown ball, and then he retired, and then they auctioned it off. Then he unretired.
That's actually what I thought would happen, believe it or not, because I was like, it's not the same thing now. It's not even, you know.
So I don't know what the settlement was, but I think they gave him his money back or something like that.
I think they gave his money back. Yeah, all of it. I think it was just like, we'll just call it even.
Which I'm surprised that Brady didn't get in front of way before that and just be like, I'll just give this guy his money back. Like, he doesn't matter to him, you know.
Right.
Like $500,000 is nothing.
Ghost,
good publicity.
Ghost of Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room, and we're live on Twitch every day. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. He says he'd like to watch Brady stomp a mud hole in Falcons legend Marcus Mariota. Yeah, he's going to.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be so bad. That's why I'm all Braves now. Atlanta Braves. That's my team. At least for right now.
Every team has a rebuild year. I had to watch the Dolphins and Jay Cutler play.
I already told you my ideas on. This is my season because there's no pressure on this season. We're barely gonna win. I'm like, this is awesome. I don't have to pay attention to nothing. I can just have fun watching all the games. I can have fun doing my fantasy. I can have fun if we do win some games, if some crazy things happen, if we pick up a quarterback in the draft. All of it will be fun.
You could probably beat the Saints. They lost their coach. And,
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm all baseball right now, buddy. I got my email into Sheldon Tortuga, putting that out into the universe again. I told Sheldon Tortuga in Daytona, I said, hook me up with your marketing department. We got some business to do.
Has he responded?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he say?
I can't read turtle, though. So it's like a lot of. It's like he's heavy-handed on the keyboard.
But it doesn't seem like it affects the artists when they do the farewell tour because, I mean, if they already got you for the ticket or the mattress or the suit, who cares if they're mad after? They already, it's not like you're going to buy another mattress or suit or ticket to see Elton John.
Well, you would need to care about your own integrity, right?
Well, I guess you'd have
It would bother me. Like, if we did a farewell tour and then later we're going to do another, let's do a real world example. If we did Founders 2.
Oh, I made the jokes about it.
I would be a little like.
But here's how.
Are we going to do Founders 2? Oh, man. Founders 2. Better than original
You think
Founders.
they're mad about a BDM Appreciation Week?
I think I could do it because people expect it from me. Right? Follow me here. They're like, Tom, he's scamming us again.
There's a bit of truth to that. Yeah.
Like, if they expect you, if you're Gene Simmons, they're like, you Simmons.
Yeah, you got me again, you helmet-headed fool.
And they're like, Don King didn't care about his reputation.
When we saw Don King walk in, we're like, oh, God. We knew. We knew what it was.
And he's still making money. They're still hiring him. He doesn't give a damn about his reputation, right?
I don't even know if Don King's still alive.
I think he is.
Is he still a boxing promoter? I
don't know.
He killed a man, didn't he? Don King killed a man.
Yeah.
He's 90. He's alive.
Yeah, he's dead. How did he live that long?
I don't know.
Like, that's crazy.
How do you get your hair to stand up that high at 90?
It's crazy that Don King has lived till 90, right? Like, he definitely didn't. He wasn't health conscious.
You know what I would like to watch? I would like to watch.
Was he healthy?
I would like to watch a video of Don King trying to use and pay for a Snickers with an Apple Watch. I'd like to watch that video. Give Don King an Apple Watch and a Snickers and have him try to use tap to pay at a 7-Eleven.
Is Don King a secret, genius behind the scenes?
No, he's not a secret genius.
Well,
he's a murderer, I think, right?
I know, but follow me here.
He's a boxing promoting.
He did shoot a man.
I know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a murderer.
By genius, I don't mean he's.
If he's a genius,
physicist.
I'm a genius.
Well, a genius in a way where.
He killed 2 people. Sorry.
I didn't know that.
A genius.
I didn't know that
because I would put the category of genius manipulator in the genius category.
Oh,
just because, I think.
You gotta have bad geniuses. Yeah.
Bernie Madoff or the people that have accumulated such wealth from nothing.
Like that lady that had the blood. The scam blood lady. You and I are obsessed with this. That super smart. She's smart.
Yeah.
She's not an idiot.
But the fact that Don King shot someone or 2 people,
people,
killed them, and the entire world looked at Don King like he was a scammer, right? Everybody looked at Don King like this guy's up to no good, right?
Yeah.
And he's not in jail, and he made a lot of money. He's a millionaire, right?
He's alive at 90.
How much is Don King's net worth? Like,
if got to at least be $10 million, right?
Everybody looks at you like a criminal, and you've stayed out of jail.
Holy smokes, $150 million.
And you've made $150 million.
Big boxing matches.
Like everybody's like, that guy is a scam shyster. You know what I'm saying? And he still made money.
It kind of bums me
He
out.
shot one guy and he stomped another guy flat.
Yeah, he stomped the guy flat. $150 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he did serve 3 years and 11 months though for the second one, for the stomping.
But it's like there's something he's doing that's above what anybody that I could even think of, right? Like, how is he able to make $110 million, kill two people?
Well, is it that he's able to
90 years
lower his moral code low enough to make decisions?
I don't think there is a moral code here.
You
He
would
stomped the guy on
never.
the street.
Like, I don't.
Well,
think
there's a million different criminals that haven't made $100 million and is out of jail.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
maybe those criminals can't lower their morals low enough to make some of these decisions. That maybe he's making some really sinister decisions. If you're stomping a person flat, that's a sinister decision.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's crazy that he's had his reputation he's had for so long since the 80s. He was a shyster boxing promoter.
They're quoting you in the chat room. Good people don't become ultra wealthy, Tom Ben. I think you're right.
Some people do.
Name one good person that's ultra wealthy. I'm talking going to space wealthy.
Right.
I don't know nobody.
I don't either.
Well, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know if
Elon, Bezos.
But I don't know if they're
Bezos' wife.
But are they bad people? I don't know. I don't know if they're good or bad people. I don't know anything about them.
I don't know either.
I don't know if Zuckerberg. I don't know if any of these billionaires.
I don't
are
know if
good
you're
or bad
a good
people.
person or a bad person.
Like,
I can't figure you out. You're like a human enigma.
What's the old Bill Gates?
Old Bill Gates.
He's donated.
Merry old soul.
Just because you donate money doesn't mean you're a good person.
Well,
true.
If you donate 90% of your what's his name? What's that guy?
Because his ex-wife would say otherwise.
Buffett, Warren Buffett. He's donated like 95% of his wealth to charity and stuff. Like, he seems you don't care, right? Like, as far as money and stuff, he seems like a good person. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know these people. Anyway, let's do another voicemail.
All right, let's try. That one was about celebrities. Let's do. This one's interesting because it has to. Well, here.
Good evening, everyone. I was just trying to figure out why my balls are hurting after a long bike ride this weekend. And then I came across this little article talking about how testicular pain can be a thing after prolonged sexual arousal due to decreased blood flow to the testicles because it went to the penis. So blue balls is apparently a thing, probably because they're blue because they don't have blood flow to them.
He was taking it like, more clinical.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's saying that we were wrong because I was really dying on the hill of blue balls not being real.
Mm-hmm.
I still contend it's not real.
No, well, we know
and
that
squirt is pee.
It is a thing. We just said that people exaggerate it and use it for some sort of
to manipulate
people. Teens used it. I remember high school guys would use that.
Come on, they're going to explode.
Well, then you take care of it.
You're gonna hurt me. Like you're. Is that gaslighting? I don't know what that is.
It could be a form of that. That's what the song.
Look what you did to me.
You know the song "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?" Boy George. That's what that song is about. It's about blue balls. A lot of people don't know that. You were a big Boy George fan back in the day, right? What was your favorite? I'll tumble for you.
I saw him live at Hard Rock.
After his voice changed?
It was probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, his voice has changed.
Longer,
all the drugs, man.
He's really good live.
He is really good. Super soulful, but his voice is different. It hurts my heart because he used to have like a higher pitch, like prettier voice, and then you live rough and.
Well,
that's what happens.
The only thing I remember about Boy George is the tabloid pictures of him like
picking up trash.
like on the community service, and that's the problem. Is like when you're doing community
Didn't see
service.
Don King picking up no trash. He killed somebody.
$100 million.
Isn't that insane?
Boy George isn't worth $100 million. Boy George is worth. I would be surprised if over $5 million. I mean, what is Boy George worth?
35.
35 million?
Yeah.
Well, he's had to work hard the last couple of years to get his money back. Have you seen the pictures of him picking up trash, Sam? It's awesome.
I think I did a while ago.
Because he's still kind of gothy. Like he.
Yeah, but he's got no makeup on and stuff.
He kind of looks like Lee.
Well, he's a British hooligan.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here, let me put this up so everybody can laugh at. I like it whenever I want everyone to laugh at Boy George.
Going back to Don King, has there anybody, can you think of anybody that's made more money in a sleazy manner that is not in prison right now than Don King? Like, that has a worse reputation.
That's
Hard
a great
question.
That's a good question.
Who's got a worse reputation and has made more money than Don King?
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, well,
he's the richest man in the world, they say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, dictator.
Yeah, dictating. Let's take that off play.
I'm just saying that is just like in the public eye, and that, I mean, I guess
sport and entertainment. Is that the area you want to go in? So you got to go into like. You got to think about people.
There's probably some like pharmaceutical company owners that have bad. Remember that guy that bought Wu-Tang?
Ghost says Vince McMahon.
No, Vince McMahon does not has a worse reputation than Don King.
Not than Don King. I don't think Vince McMahon stomped somebody to death.
No, but I guess he does steal money from his wrestler.
Well, I mean, like that. Okay, business dealings and arguing whether or not the wrestler got a good deal and whether or not the opposite side of that business is taking advantage of him. Yeah, I mean, of course.
Who has killed somebody?
Yeah, we got to go there.
And is ultra rich. And is
Matthew
no longer in prison.
Matthew Broderick.
Suge Knight. What about
Suge Knight?
Suge Knight's
Matthew
a good one.
Broderick.
Suge Knight is not worth $100 million, is he? Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick is beloved.
What about? Well, he killed somebody.
Say his name again.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, he killed somebody, right?
Yeah, wasn't it a car accident?
What about that really hot girl with the mole on her face?
Mark
with the curly
Wahlberg.
Hair? Did he kill somebody?
No,
he almost did. He gave him brain damage. He has to pay his bills for the rest of his life.
No, you got to kill somebody.
He's got a good
Brandy.
reputation.
What about Brandy? She killed somebody.
It's by accident. When you're stomping someone, you know.
It was an accidental stomp.
Right.
I was stomping. I didn't know you were there.
So, what's Suge Knight worth?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Suge Knight.
I bet he's worth $75 million.
You got a guess, Tom?
It's got to be. Because there's. I'm going 15.
It says he was worth over $100 million at his peak, but there's no actual. His net worth reported that Suge Knight's net worth has dropped down to $200,000 over the years.
Yeah, that's about right.
A lot due to poor financial management. Yeah. He owed the IRS $6.5 million in taxes.
And then he was on that set.
$200,000.
Remember,
he was worth $100 million.
He was on a set of a video or a movie in a car. Do you remember this? And Suge Knight was in the car, and then some guy like confronted it, or something happened, and he peeled out. Like Suge Knight was like driving away from the set and like ran over a dude. Look that up.
Oh yeah.
That was like 5 years ago or something.
He went to jail for that again,
I think he did. Yeah.
I saw in some TikTok video Suge Knight getting out of jail. They picked him up in a
sentenced
limo.
to 28 years for that.
Yeah. Did he kill the guy there?
Is he still in jail?
I would assume so. This happened in
he's still in jail.
2015.
Snoop Dogg's got a new show that is ridiculousness, but it's uncensored. And then he had Jim Jeffries and then another comedian sit with him, and then they just watch uncensored videos of like people peeing.
Internet videos.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's uncensored. It's like people peeing, people pooping, and then Snoop is just curse crazy and smoking weed, and they're all like talking, and he's hanging out, and it's just better.
What is that?
So ridiculousness, checkmate. You are done. Snoop he's the king. It's called. It's Crime Pays or something. It's like some dumb
Crime Pays.
It's like Crime Pays or like
Dumb Criminal.
Yeah, it's something about dumb criminal.
Oh no, So Dumb It's Criminal.
So Dumb It's Criminal.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it
on
is.
Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Peacock, uncensored. Like Peacock's going all uncensored now. They're doing just like
they gotta
YouTube.
compete.
Yeah, they got to compete.
God,
and they got
Snoop Dogg.
money.
It's funny though because if you're going to watch ridiculousness, you might as well get funnier people, better stars. I mean, Jim Jeffries is out there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. That is, although
they got what's his name? Carmen's friend does the black guy is very calm. He does that podcast about like You'll Be Okay.
Ron Funches.
He's on there.
Cole.
Yeah, he's
Lonnie
got.
Love.
Yeah, he's doing it right. He's
Jay
like
Farrow, Godfrey.
Yeah, here's what you do. You go and
Russell
you get
Peters.
really good, funny comedians, and then do the show uncensored and way better.
Yeah.
Because they did a video where a guy was being arrested and he was going number one straight up onto his own forehead.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and Snoop's like, hey, what kind of D you gotta have to pee in your face? Like, he was doing the whole thing, and me and Andrew are like, way better than the ridiculousness. Way better.
Now, I can't watch that with my sons.
No, you can't. And I was gonna warn you. You absolutely cannot, because they are obsessed with pee-pee on the show. This show was all pee-pee. It was people peeing in the back of the car, in the front of the car.
I mean, how are you going to compete with that?
You can't.
Yeah.
Because Snoop, everyone likes Snoop. And I'm sorry, Rob Dyrdek, you've done a really good job. And Tom and I have said that you have increased your comedy. You've worked hard. You've got little sets and little bits that you do. And I think you do a good job. But you just don't have the X factor that Snoop has.
You got to hang up that flat
When people
brim.
see Snoop, they smile.
Yeah.
Snoop is a tall, old, black Cupid doll like Gerber Baby. When people see Snoop, no matter who they are, they're happy. They're like, Snoop Dogg, yes. You get excited about Snoop.
I saw on TikTok Snoop Dogg was on, it may have been The Breakfast Club. I have no idea, but there was a lady that was asking him.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lady.
It's almost too much. I love Snoop Dogg, but it's almost too much.
It's always been too much. He's been doing pornos, doing a show with David Beckham.
True.
He's playing baseball. It's like, dude, when do you just enjoy? When do you just enjoy?
There was some clip of her. She was like, "What would you say?" And radio people do that move all the time. It's like, "What would you say about people like you're saying that?"
Yeah,
say?
It's like if I hated Sam's shirt, I'd say, "What would you say to someone who thinks your shirt makes you look horrible?"
It's like you're thinking that.
Loaded question.
You're deflecting. Anyway, she was saying that, like, what would you say about people that are saying that your lyrics in the past,
using the word bitches for females.
Negatively depict women, blah, 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 blah. And then he just looked at her and he's like, F them hoes.
Yeah.
And I was like, because now you can't tell if TikTok videos are real or if they just edited it and they make them funny. So I'm like, did he really say that? And I'm like, wow. Like either doesn't care or like
he's got to keep his street cred.
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke, right?
Yeah. But you think like the more now he's doing more popular shows and stuff like that he like calm down.
Yeah, but if they let him curse, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, all right, bye.